Welcome, my dear friends, to our Voice of His Kingdom weekly devotion. This is our episode 49, and we shall be taking our text from the book of Genesis, chapter 49. Our key verses are from verses 22 to 26. Let's read them together. It says, Joseph is a fruitful vine near a spring whose branches climb over a wall. With bitterness, Acres attacked him. They shot at him with hostility. But his bow remained steady. His strong arms stayed limber because of the hand of the mighty one of Jacob, because of the shepherd, the rock of Israel, because of your father's God who helps you, because of the Almighty who blesses you with blessings of the heavens above, the blessings of the deep that lies below, and blessings of the breast and the womb. Your father's blessings are greater than the blessings of the ancient mountains, than the bounty of the age-old hills. Let all these rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. My friends, let's look at the background to this text. Sometime later, after that brief encounter with Ephraim and Manasseh, Jacob called his 12 sons together to speak prophetically into their lives and to pronounce his final blessings on them before his death. And in verses 1 and 2 of the text, the Bible records that he said as follows. Then Jacob called for his sons and said to them, gather around so I can tell you what will happen to you in the days to come. Assemble and listen, sons of Jacob. Listen to your father Israel. So, from the firstborn Reuben to the lastborn Benjamin, he made prophetic pronouncements upon each of them. But the longest pronouncement was the one upon Joseph. It's interesting to note that these pronouncements became realities. What is said about Judah regarding the scepter and the ruler's staff not departing from there forever reminds us of David, the king of Israel, who came from Judah, and of course Christ Jesus, who will rule as King of Kings and Lord of Lords over the nations forever. Joseph received a special blessing. He did, from our text, and deservedly so. He was God's instrument for saving Israel from the famine and hosting them in Egypt till it was time for them to return to Canaan. He concluded his blessings and his prophetic utterances on Joseph by saying that let all these blessings on me, Jacob, rest on the head of Joseph, on the brow of the prince among his brothers. In other words, all that God gave to him, all the blessings, the ones from his grandfather and from his own father, he poured out upon Joseph. Everything. What are the key lessons, my dear friends? Parents have been advised to love their children equally. I'm sure if you are a parent, you must have heard that. And not to show favoritism when dealing with their children. But the truth, however, remains that everyone is the architect of his own fortune. And everyone will reap whatever he or she sows. Reuben was the firstborn, but this is what he got. This is what he said about Reuben in verse 3. He says, Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might, the first sign of my strength, excelling in honor, excelling in power, turbulent as the waters, you will no longer excel. For you went up unto your father's bed, unto my couch, and defiled it. So his position, the position of the firstborn, was transferred to Joseph, whom Jacob elevated to receive all of his blessings, and also made him a prince among his brothers. So Joseph earned his father's blessing above what others received by the following. His testament in Egypt saved the life of Jacob's family. These are the reasons. He honored his father by forgiving the evil done to him by his brothers. He was instrumental to Jacob's happy ending. So, how do we apply some of these key lessons in our lives? In Genesis chapter 4, verse 4, we remember a similar incident. Cain and Abel are two brothers. Cain was the older brother. But the Bible said that Abel's offering was praised and accepted by God, even though he was the younger brother to Cain. But Abel brought fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock to the Lord. And the Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering. So, there is a lesson that our relationship with God is also reciprocal. It's not one way. Just because I'm a child of Abraham, therefore everything comes my way. No. It's reciprocal. What you sow is what you reap. Now, the underlying truth about the blessing we receive is that we receive God's blessing in proportion to our level of obedience and commitment to Him. You can see that in the life of Joseph and his other brothers, including his eldest brother Reuben. Joseph excelled in this area of obedience and commitment while in Egypt, even though he was a slave in a foreign country. His reward from his father Jacob speaks volumes of the reciprocity obtained of his righteous lifestyle in Egypt. And so, my dear friends, as we close from here, it's important for us to remember that God blesses us, and yet He will, and yes, He will bless you. But His blessings, His commitment to us, the extension of His favors and His goodness upon our lives, by and large, depends on our level of walk with Him, our level of obedience to Him. Joseph got what he deserved. Reuben also got what he deserved. Thank you, my dear friends, and God bless you.